in the 400 metres, putting their best athlete out first. Japan, silver medalists 4 years ago, got a bronze in the Asian Championship last year. Kazakhstan have won 4 medals in the last 5 editions of this event, 3 silvers and a bronze. Very consistent relay nation, they're in with a shout. What a team from Bahrain. Yamal, Essa, Odiong, already one of the most decorated athletes at the Games, and NASA anchoring them home. And the People's Republic of China, who last won this title on the inside, last won in 1998, long time ago. Bahrain will be the favourites for this title. Kazakhstan have a fine record when it comes to this event. Japan in 4, India, the defending champions, in 5. They have their best athlete on lead leg, Hima Das. After that, it'll be a case of hanging on. The women's 4x400 metre relay, the penultimate event on the athletics programme here in Jakarta. A big roar from the crowd cheering on the Indonesians out in lane 6. A good start there by Jamal of Bahrain, and now Hima Das beginning to close in on the Indonesian outsider. Also running well, the lead leg from Vietnam, Thi Van Nguyen. Bahrain really do have such a strong team. Nguyen is running well, but remember there's a very, very long stagger. It's a brutal leg, and she's now starting to tie up as Das shows her class for India. Also, Jamal of Bahrain beginning to tire just a fraction. India lead, we did expect at a standstill.
I'm sure that in the long term they won't have too much impact, but certainly they've lost 4 or 5 metres. That was a very, very poor exchange.
Looking up at the big screen, this is Machettira of India. They've been bold, the Indians, by selecting Das on that lead leg. Essa now trying to close, but she's got some company. The other Nguyen has run really well for Vietnam. China trying to come back into the mix. But at the halfway stage, it will be India. Gutsy end to that leg by Japan, who are just ahead of Bahrain, and China still in the mix for a medal. But now we get to watch Odiong storming around that first bend.
Well, we know that Odiong is the fastest woman on the continent. What we don't know, though, is having gone off as she has done. Look at her there, looking quite majestic in second spot. How is she once she's gone beyond 200 metres? She's certainly running within herself here, but she would look to kick once she hits that top bend, which she does now. This is going to be very informative, but at the moment, that's a big lead. That's 25 metres.
The Indians put their best athlete out lead leg. It will be left to Velluva, Koroth to anchor them home. She has a huge lead. This is the size of the task facing Salwa Nasser. India with a lead of somewhat 30, maybe 40 metres. Nasser is so fast. She's running in lane 2. She needs to cut in. She's covering more distance than she needs to here, and she's still in lane 2. Surely she must realise you can break. Now she moves across. She is one of the fastest women in history over 400 metres, but this lead looks too big for even her to close down. India's bold strategy of putting Hima Das on lead leg has paid off brilliantly. They've won the last 4, and in some style, they are going to make it 5 Asian Games title in a row in the women's 4x4. India take it. Nasser can't bring them gold this time. And what a fantastic bronze medal for Vietnam, I think, who came through ahead of the fast-finishing Chinese. India deliver again, and despite having a brilliant quartet on paper, the Bahrainis left themselves far too much to do.
Well, they slipped the field right at the start, and that first pattern change there from the Bahrainis, which is worth a look. I don't know in the final analysis whether it's made the difference, but it does go to show that there is far more, even in a 4x400 metre race, than just simply having four fast athletes. But that was a procession, wasn't it? Well, that has certainly come as something of a surprise.
The end of the first leg for Bahrain between Jamal and the start of the second with Essa was very sloppy. They lost ground there when Das had already given India a sizable advantage.
Well, let's take a look at this first pattern change, shall we? Now, there's no doubt we're looking here at lane 2. The Bahrain athlete, as she's looking, and she takes it almost at a standstill. Then it almost looks as if somebody stands on somebody else's foot. That's how bad it was. See it again here, 2 from the right. Look, waiting. Oh, a grab and a grab. Well, that's cost 3 or 4 metres. I'm not sure if in the final analysis it has made the difference, but it does go to show that we're dealing here with a team who don't necessarily take the technical points terribly seriously. And you have to do. The Indians, though, classic case of where the sum of the individual parts is greater when you do put them all together. Great tactic. Fastest athlete off first. Really was. And look at this. They never got within 15 or 20 metres, or maybe they did, but it was in the last 30 or 40.
It looked as though it was teed up for NASA to produce something sensational on that last lap. But it was far too big a deficit, even for her. And I can't understand why NASA ran the first 120 or so metres in lane 2 round the bend. What a record by the Indian women, 5 in a row. The Indians defend their title as a result of some very brave tactics. Their best runner out first, and they were never threatened. Bahrain, with all the superstars, take the silver and a wonderful bronze for Vietnam.
This is the medal ceremony for the women's 1500 metres. This was a procession. Well, Rob, you were watching this final, and, well, there was never really any doubt about it, was there?
She's really back to great form. I mean, the finishing time was slow, but that's because they've